Got some random number.
Yes, so it hit here, you're right, but when it went up here, I don't think the point's on that. So it would actually it would be go up, it would never dip down. Does that make sense?
Oh, so it wasn't a, it didn't have the two, so it just was not like that.
Correct. So it's still cubic, you were right on that. But when you were to graph it, it would look something like this point was right, this point was right. And so if you're going down this way.
Shut up.
So I gave partial on that one.
Yeah, I like the one it was definitely.
I think it was you did? Gotcha. We're going to accomplish or something in a second. We'll talk about that. All right. Hey, number 6. Is there anyone that needs me just to go over number 6 real quick? Just as a reminder. No, some of you are like, yeah, I got this. If you got it, maybe you go on to the next one. Go to 6, maybe to 7. If you need some help, before I give that announcement on the test, we can simply just go over this just as a review of what we've been doing. Remember listing the possible zeros of the last over the first coefficient, where we would list 12 over 1. So remember, excuse me, we're listing the factors of those, right? So the factors of 12 being 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12, right? Plus or minus. All over plus or minus 1. And so the goal of this is just plugging them into synthetic to see which one produces a remainder of 0. I'm going to start with 2. I've done this a couple times a day, so I think 2 is the answer, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll start with that, but if you get one that has a remainder, that just means it's not the answer, and that's okay. So we're going to go 1, -9, 20, -12, okay? So bring down the 1, multiply to get 2, add to get -7, and you get the idea that we're just, again, going to synthetic, and then once we get to the end, we see that this actually has a 0. Now, once I get to this where we have 3, what's left over?
X squared minus 7x plus 6.
Good work. Good, Thomas. And then I think we can actually factor this to 2 things that are even, which would be what? Good, x minus 6 and x minus 1, which gives me the x-intercepts of
Positive 6.
positive 6, positive 1, and then obviously the positive 2 on that side as well. Okay? Cool? And that's how we would check it. Remember, possible zeros, we get them, and then we just plug them into synthetic to see which ones would be the x-intercepts. So how many x-intercepts do we have on this? 3. Good. Good. Will we always have 3 when it has a degree of 3?
Not
Sometimes
necessarily.
that changes. We're going to look at that later today, okay? That's kind of where we're headed, all right? Questions off of this one. I think we've taught this before. I don't think we've tested over it. So we're going to actually be tested over this later on, where you'll do the possible zeros, P over Q, or last over first, and then you actually have to test them all without getting what the first x-intercept or 0 was, okay? Cool beans. All right. You want to go over the test real quick? All right, let me give you some information, okay? In looking at the test, the average grade overall was around a 75, 76, okay? That's lower than what we normally would expect, okay? For this class, it was higher, okay? And I don't think it's by accident because many of you do your homework and many of you focus in class. It's just the reality of it, okay? With that being said, let me give you a couple of things that I need to just share with you. I understand. I've taught seniors now for 4 or 5 years. I get right now this time of year is when it starts getting tough. Savannah's just smiling right now. She knows, okay? There's a lot going on. And so I need you to understand that I get it, okay? I 100% get it. You've got college decisions some of you have to make. Some of you right now have everything going on between sports or drama or extracurricular and then academic stuff. I know also the stress of just senior year, getting to graduation. Right now, motivation's starting to do this, okay? For some of you, it's done this, okay? And you know what I'm talking about. It's tanked. And I get it, okay? But you need to know that for me, we're not done yet, okay? You've got to understand that. We are not done yet. And so even though I understand it, and I'm in your corner, and I want to do everything I can to help you, I also know that part of my job is to motivate you as best I can to finish what we've started, okay? Now, the test study session was the most scarcely attended study session we've had all year, okay? And I don't think it's by accident that across the board, maybe not as much this class, but across the board the test was lower. So, here's what we're going to do. Some of you maybe did well on a lot of parts, and maybe you had one part you did bad on. So, here's what I'm going to allow. Monday, when you come in, Monday morning, okay, 7:30, starting at 7:30, you can come in and retake any part you want, okay? So if you did worse on the first part, come in and take the first part. Did worse on the second part, come in and retake the second part. The third part is the graph part. It's the smaller part, but if you choose to do that, I will have that ready as well, okay? But you can come in and retake any part of your choosing. It is a one-day offer, so it is Monday morning. If you got stuck in traffic, if, I don't know, woke up late, something happened, unless it's an emergency, that's a one-time offer. So make sure that you're ready to go 7:30 in the morning. Josh?
We do worse. If we don't do as good.
If you don't do as good, it depends on if I like you or not, whether I'm joking. Yeah, I'll take that first part, obviously. Okay, you can't decrease. Okay. Here's my caveat to that. In order to do it, you have to have all your homeworks turned in. Okay. If you have not turned in all your homeworks, you can on Monday when you come in for the test, your ticket will be the missing homeworks that you have not completed. Fair? Is that fair? Okay. So again, just kind of as you're planning for it, know what part it is, and then we'll rock and roll from there. Okay. Would y'all mind doing me a favor? We still have people who have not taken this test. Would y'all mind helping me out? Look at it, know what part you're about ready to take. Kind of keep a mental note. If you want to put it in your phone, that's fine. That reminder. But go ahead and put it on the right-hand side like you would turn in on, not the left, but go ahead on the right-hand side, turn it in under fourth period, okay? That just tells me you're done.
Would it change my grade a lot if I did this?
It would be, if you added 1.5 to this, like got a perfect score, you would have got a 39.
Oh.
So it would be as if you would add 3 points to your overall grade.
How about mine?
You should probably take the second one. Wait, no, the second one. That's the first one. Yeah, that's significantly worse than the second part.
It's not.
It is.
I think that's an A. I think that's
I don't even know.
So if you look, I mean, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Does that help you? Yes.
It's gonna be like different questions.
It's going to be different. I can't do the same actual questions because we're not really assessing that. But the same style of questions, like for part one, you're going to get the similar style of what you would have saw in part one, same as part two. So if you studied the review, you would still be okay. All right?
Is this
Which-
my
yes.
overall grade?
Yeah. Also, which brings me to a good point too. As we look towards Monday, there is no homework this weekend, except 2.5 homework will be due Monday at midnight. Okay? So if you want to get ahead, you can. But the next homework is due Monday at midnight there. All right? Cool. All right. Hey, could I do this? I just sense just with y'all right now. Could I pray for y'all real quick? I just sense something. I want to pray for you and just everything going on, and then we'll finish off and let's head to the weekend. What do you say? We'll do that. Cool. Let's pray. God, we just think of basketball tonight. I know there's things going on with senior night tonight, but then also all these activities with the drama performance this weekend and so many other things going on all over campus. God, I just sense that in the seniors this year, they are just amazing people. And I know that you're going to do some crazy things with them. I also noticed that maybe there's some discouragement. There's some things that are weighing them down. God, I just know that you work miracles, and I just ask that you would take that away from them and let them just do the best of which they're capable of doing. Be with us, Father. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen. Cool. All right. So today we're going to go over some homework ones. As we go over some of the homework ones, you're going to also notice that we'll pull back on previous stuff as well. So get something to write with, get that homework, get something to write on, and we're going to go through this together. All right. Y'all remember this problem? Yeah, I think we've already done this. So let's just have a quick conversation on this. I did it right behind me, and just wanted to make sure you were clear on this. All right. As we look at this for some tickets, how many solutions could I have on the polynomial behind me? 5. Good. Exactly. Does that necessarily mean it crosses the x-axis 5 times, Thomas?
No.
No, right? We talked about this idea of it has 5, and I think, where's my, oh, there it is. Yeah, let's do it. I'm joking. We have 5 right here, okay? And it's possible that we have 5 x-intercepts, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we will, okay? But we have 5 solutions. One thing I didn't talk to you about, that I'm going to talk to you about today, is the fact that we also have 5 factors. If we were to factor this out, we would actually have 5 different factors related to solutions. So how do we know, or how can we solve this? Well, we did this the other day where we plugged it into a graphing calculator. And when we did, we got 3 different x-intercepts. We got 3, 2, and 2/3, or 0.6, okay? So I'm just going to write those in. So 2, 3, and 0.6. All right, anyone want to take a shot and just tell me, like, what would be the factors of those 3? Josh, you know?
X minus 2, X minus 3, X minus 0.6.
Exactly. And the 0.6 we probably could write different, but I'm good with that right now. Okay? Say again?
I think it's like 3/5.
Is it? Yeah, so it'd be 3x minus 5, technically, right? You could put, which is absolutely true. You could also put this as well, and that'd be appropriate in that way there. So then we came to this idea of, well, what happened to the other 2? And just as a recap, what did we do on this board that helped us get the other 2 solutions? Go ahead, Zara. You good? Synthetic, right? And we looked at 3, 2, and 0.6. Now, do they have to be in this order?
No.
No, it doesn't matter what order. Your numbers may be different, but hopefully you get a remainder of 0 if it's actually an x-intercept, right? And so we just kept going from the top. The simplified version, we kept plugging 2 in, and then 0.6 in. Zari, what'd you do with the 505 once you got there? Yeah, we've got like a polynomial simplified, right? Which would be actually x squared, right? 5x squared plus 0x plus 5, right? And what did you do with that to solve it?
Oh, set equal to 0, right?
Good, yeah, we set it equal to 0 and do what? Solve it, right? Here's the key. This is something, maybe make a note. We want to simplify whatever polynomial we have until we get to x squared. Because what can we do with x squared to solve it? We can, no, that's perfect. That's good. Solve it, right? With the square root. You said something too, Josh?
Factor.
We could factor, and then the third one would be? Quadratic, right? Right, very good. So we have 3 different methods. So when we get to an x squared, we have 3 different methods to go after, right? Cool? All right, so once I get 5x squared plus 0x plus 5, we subtract 5, divide by 5, and then once I take the square root, what do I get once I divide by this to get a -1 when I square root a -1? What do I get? Yeah, very good. Good, Caitlin. So we get plus or minus I. Does that make sense? All right, very good. So we can then have plus or minus I right here. Why are these 2 solutions but not zeros? Good, because they're imaginary, right? Very good. They're imaginary numbers. So that's why in this, these 2 we say are pairs. Here's the other thing. If you've got I, you must also have its right here.
What was the question?
Victory right here. Victory, Mary Grace. Conjugate, that's exactly right. Yeah, Paige had it, didn't you? Yeah, that's exactly right. It's conjugate, right? And Paige, I'll give you one right here. Can you tell me what the factors are here?
Of what?
Of these 2? It's okay. It's good. Anybody know the factors of those? Yeah, Caitlin. X minus I and X plus I. Cool? So question, real quick. Let's recap. How many solutions does this have? 5, right? 5 solutions, right? That makes this equal to 0. How many x-intercepts do I have?
3.
3. You see the difference, right? So solutions compared to x-intercepts here, okay? Got me? But we have 5 factors. 5 factors all the way through. All right, let me do this. Questions over this. All right, you know what the tough part is? Knowing how do I solve the quadratic, right? How do I, whether I factor, whether I solve, whether I use the quadratic equation, right? So I came up with this. You ready? Everybody listen, pay attention, class. You're going to solve quads so that y'all can pass. We'll teach you 3 methods. X is what we're after. We'll solve out first. Yeah, teach you how to factor. No, I dropped it. Y'all got to solve this. If factor doesn't work, then you will go down on this. We'll break it down into 2 quantities, the linear factors. We'll solve them with ease. The zero product property comes into effect. If x is equal 0, then we'll solve for x. There's a shortcut. The opposite of the back is divided of the front. The x every part of the greatest common factor. The answer to the piece is 0. Believe me, I'm a doctor. Teaching math with students will help the students learn. Keep your minds open. This class is adjourned. That's all I got right there. And then it's the everybody do the quad. Solve. Quad, solve. That's it right there. That's it. Very
How
good.
long did it take you to memorize that?
I've done it for so many years now. We just drop it. And I practice it too. Is that weird? Is that weird?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not.
You know what's funny is for different classes they embrace it different. Like my second period class was like, like Ty was like, oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it upright. And then some people feel really, really uncomfortable for me, and it makes me want to do it even more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people are like, and it's like I'm gonna keep doing it. Like Grant, next time I'm gonna be like on their desk doing it. I'm gonna be like on your
I
desk.
love that.
You would love that? It's a good video. Good video. Right? All right. So the quadratic is the big thing. The 3 methods, and that's something to really focus in on. All right. All right, cool. So here's the thing. Gonna go over 2 problems. We're gonna go over 2. One is not on your homework. The other one is. Okay. So we'll start on the very back side here. Cool. All right. We'll start with this one. Let's do this here. Okay. Let's go to 45. Okay. 45. All right. Question: how many solutions does 45 have? Someone that does not have. Say again?
Is this one the notes?
This one is not, and that's my bust. I should have included one, and I didn't. But might just want to get this down somewhere on the side. But the next one will be. I'll tell you. I'll give right now. Someone who has not gotten something. Tell me how many solutions does 45 have? Can you see that, Elijah? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can see.
You can see that? Okay, cool. How many solutions? Go ahead, man. Great job. Good. Okay. Elijah, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You ready? Okay? It's okay. No one's gotten this yet. Okay? So if you get this, man, I'm going to be hollering. So right now you got 3, right? I like it. Okay. The first solution is what? It's given to you, right? And that right there, right? 5i. Okay?
Oh, you might have to make it bigger.
What's that?
I can't see it.
Oh, this one right here? Gotcha. Yeah, I'll make this up a little bigger here for us. Hunter in the other class called me out on it too, so my apologies. Sometimes it looks bigger on my side than your side.
Oh no, I was talking
Oh,
about
okay. That was perfect timing. Called me out there, Grant. I got it. So 5i is our first one, right? That's given to us. 3 solutions, Elijah. I love what you said there. Here's the next question. How many x-intercepts do we have? So before you answer that, you got this for me. Hold up. Why?
There's 2.
Why?
I mean, you just did it before. You had to have the.
No. Yeah, keep going. So you got 5i. What would be the other one? Why'd you say we have 2? What would be the second one?
-5i.
Good, Thomas. Yeah, you helped him out there. It'd be negative 5i. You're rocking, and guess what? Why can this one not be imaginary?
Because that has to be an x-intercept.
For this one it does, but why? Mary Grace?
The degree is 3.
Because the multiplicity is odd. I love that. And then also, if I had an imaginary number, what's the problem with that? You'd have to have its conjugate, right? And you can't have that, right? So we know that this is an x-intercept. All right, now do real quick. Fasten your seatbelts, okay? This one can be tough, okay? Very good, Emma. I saw that. That was impressive. So what we're going to do is this, okay? We are going to navigate this by plugging 5i in for my polynomial. So same thing we would normally do. 3, 2, 50, and 75. I'll kind of put a line there because separate that, okay? All right, so here's the thing. It's going to get tough, okay? It's going to get tough. But we know what? What is the n? Let's start with the n.
Negative 75.
Great job, which would be 0, right? Great job. I love that. So this is 0, and Kennedy told us it was negative 75. That's impressive, okay? Josh?
So at the beginning, they gave us 1, 0. How's it 5i and negative 5i?
Good question. Someone want to help Josh out? Why is it 5i and negative 5i?
The conjugate.
The conjugate rule, whereas if I have an I have to have its conjugate as well. Just by rule, okay? Just by rule.
So if there's like a 5i, or if it's x to the 5th, and it was 5i and 3i, it'd be negative 5i, 5i.
Yes, so, and I'll even give you another one. What if it was 1 minus 5i and 3i? That means you'd have 4. 1 plus 5i, 1 minus 5i, 3i, and negative 3i. Okay? Y'all Gucci so far?
Gucci.
And then if it was like,
Gucci key?
if it was x to the 4th, that'd be our only 4.
Say that again.
If it was x to the 4th, that'd be like our 4. There wouldn't be any imaginary.
Correct. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. If y'all want one of these, pass them around, okay? We need a Joel. Yes, sir.
So if they would say there was 4 solutions.
Yes.
Could they be possible that they were all imaginary?
You know what that would look like? If picture-wise, that would mean that as I drew it, it could look something like that. That's like to the 4th, or it could look something like that. Notice no x-intercepts. Cool. Great question. All right. Hey, as you're getting the Hershey Kiss there, let's do this. Let's just go after this, okay? Again, dial in. Okay, dial in. I love the focus. Finish off strong. We'll do this one and then a homework one. All right? Bring down the 2. 2 times 5i is what? 10i. Okay, hold it real quick. This is, I know not like this isn't the most exciting thing, but it's a struggle area for us sometimes, at least in previous years. When we get here, can I add those 2? All right, I'm about ready to your mind. You ready? This is 3 plus 10i. Okay? All right, trust me now. Okay? What do I multiply that by?
5.
Okay, 5i times 3 is what? 15i. 5i times 10i is what? 50i squared, which remember I squared is negative 1. So that would be negative 50. Is everyone good with me?
I'm great.
Y'all good? Is that the... All right, good. Right on. Is that how y'all do it? Like that? Okay, very good. I'm practicing. All right. So we get 15i. 15i times 5i is what? Negative 75, right? Just like I told you. Or Kennedy told us, right? So negative 75 and 75 produces 0. Okay? All right, by rule, though, if we use 5i, we must also use what, Elijah? Oh, you're good. So if we use 5i, we must also use the conjugate, which would be negative 5i, which you helped us out with earlier, right? Good. So we would put negative 5i right here as well. What do I do with the first one? Bring her down. Okay. What do I do with 2?
Multiply 5.
Good. Negative 5i times 2 is negative 10i. What do I do now? Cancel party. Good. The best kind of party, we bring down 3. And then what do I do with 3 times negative 5i?
If it didn't cancel, would that like let you know that you did something wrong?
100%. Yes. Because remember that and its conjugate will always get rid of the I, right? That's why we have to have its conjugate there. It's a good question. So then 3 times negative 5i is negative 15i, which produces 0. And what's left over?
0.
2x minus
2x
That too.
Plus 3.
Plus 3.
Plus 3, right? So we would say 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, which what would we get for our last x-intercept or solution?
Negative 3 over 2.
-3 over, sorry, I can't write. And then we divide -3/2. Good. So this up here is -3/2. Again, I know I'm beating a dead horse, so to speak. How many solutions do I have?
3.
3.
3. How many x-intercepts do I have?
1.
One. Y'all see the difference? Cool. And that's how we attack it here. Okay? All right, real quick. I'll give you right now this right here, what I have left over. If someone could come up and show me the factored form of this. No. And we'll do Emma real quick because I just saw her out of the corner of my eye.
Go.
And then we'll go dun. This board, I'm telling you, it's awesome. This is what I used to do in class. No, I didn't. What? Did you say I look like a student?
No.
Oh, okay.
When you say factor, do you mean like factor?
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. We'll take that right there. Good. They nodded. Nicely done.
Good job.
They nodded. Good. Questions over this? All right, last one. Here we go. Go to your backside of the homework, okay? The very backside. Totally random. How many of you are going for the Rams on Sunday? Rams or New England? All right, I'm sorry for y'all. How many of you are going for New England, like me? All right.
Whoever's winning at
Y'all bonus points. So, yeah, just come and see me. All right.
halftime.
Falcons.
Go Falcons.
She
Yes.
said whoever's winning at halftime.
That was a funny game.
Yes, this is true. That was I would say that yeah, it was bad. was bad. Okay, can y'all see 35? Does y'all like 35, the very back side of it? It's a little different, right? Is it 4? It's this one, 36. Can we do 36 real quick? Just real quick.
12.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. 11.
Number 11. All right, right on. I've been trying to make the homeworks a little cleaner. I hope they're
Yeah,
better.
this is
like
They're
it.
better. Cool. Yeah, before it was a little, little ratchet, a little weird. Okay. All right. So top right, 36. How many solutions do I have? 3. Good, Caitlin. How many x-intercepts do I have, Kennedy? 1. Right. We know this. We're good. Okay. What would be the factored form? Very similar to what Emma did. What would be the factored form of this?
X minus 1. There's 4, sorry.
X minus 4. What would be the next one?
X plus 3i. X minus 3i.
Good. Now they want me to go backwards and get this in standard form. Okay? What would be the easiest part to probably multiply first? What do you think, Caleb? I agree, because if you did the first two, it would still work. But what would happen is you would still have i's in it, and it's easier to mess up. So do the i's together first, okay? All right, so what about these last two? Let's just do it together real quick. Kennedy?
Can I go to the restroom?
Oh, I got you. Yeah, go ahead. You see, I thought you were all in on that. Gotcha. What would be x minus 3i times x plus 3i? What would we get?
3i or 9i squared.
Okay, so we'd have minus 9i squared. Okay, that'd be the last one. X times x is x squared. Yep, they're very good. X times negative 3i is minus 3ix. Good. And then 3i times x is plus 3ix. And just like Kennedy, I think it was Kennedy said, these are going to cancel out if I did it appropriately, right? There should be no I if I have the two conjugates. So what does the negative 9i squared turn into?
And a positive 9.
Positive 9, good. So we get x squared plus 9, okay? X squared plus 9. And then we just multiply it by x minus 4, okay? And then with that part, we'll just distribute. And again, once we distribute here, x goes into both parts to get x to the third. Am I going too quick, y'all? Sorry. Am I okay? So we're just distributing from there, right? Plus, I messed up that. Sorry. I was looking at this here. X to the third minus plus 9x right there. X to the third plus 9x minus 4x squared, and then minus 36. And that right there would be my answer. What's the one thing you see there that maybe could be tweaked?
Swap the 4x squared.
Yeah, let's swap the x squared around and make sure that that's in order, right? Other than that, I think I'm good. Okay. Good stuff. What about the top right one? That one looks a little more difficult, doesn't it? What makes that look a little bit crazier?
4 plus I.
Yeah, and I think this is the same. It's just a positive right there. So how could I, first of all, how many solutions do I have?
3.
3. How many x-intercepts do I have?
1.
Good. So what would this be in terms of factored form? X minus 2 and then, say again?
4 minus I.
Yeah, this is a little strange because right here, this it acts as 1, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to say x minus parentheses 4 plus I and x minus parentheses 4 minus I.
Why are they both subtracted?
Good question. This right here is the change in conjugate, but remember whatever I have put up here, it's always x minus whatever that is, right? So if it was this one, it would just be x plus 1 and x minus parentheses at 6 plus 5i. Does that make sense there? And then what I would do is just distribute this negative into both, making it x minus 4 minus I times x minus 4 plus I. Cool? And then just distribute that. Here. Alrighty, here's what we're going to do just as we wrap up. I think right now we have about 10 minutes left, which is perfect, just to kind of go through some questions. And I'll be around to help, and especially this one behind me. Go ahead and rep it out and make sure you distribute this, and I'll double check and make sure you're good on that one, okay? Cool beans? All right, let's do it. Did y'all get one, Gail? Cool.